Hey guys, on this video we'll be learning how to find the nth term in geometric sequence. So let's look at this. I'm going to give you one of this geometric sequence and we're going to drive a formula together. So let's look at it. What's the easiest geometric sequence? How about 3, 6, 12. Okay, so there's 3, 6, 12, and 24, and it goes on. I know it gets a little bit, it looks a little bit cut out, but you basically can tell what it is just by looking at it. So we're going to do the same thing. It's kind of the same thing as what we did for arithmetic sequence. Let's look at our a sub 1. In this case, what is our a sub 1? A sub 1 means, that only means the first term. A sub 2 means the second term. So our first term is 3. Not bad. Let's look at a sub 2. Second term, I want you to write this with expressions of a sub 1 and r. Remember what our r is? R is the common ratio. This time our common ratio, we're multiplying by 2. So our common ratio is 2. So our r is equal to 2. Now, in order to get to the second term, we have to do 3 times 2. Do you agree? So that's 3. In other words, we have to do a sub 1 times r. This wasn't too bad. Now let's go into a sub 3. On this part, I'm going to go all the way to a sub 4, just so you can kind of see what's going on. So let's get a sub 3. A sub 3, we have to do 3 times 2 times 2. And usually, this is when I'm going to show you what it means. So 3 is once again our a sub 1. Now, usually when you write 2 times 2, rather than just leaving it as 2 times 2 or r times r, we change that to r squared. Okay, so just bear with me. Now, let's go to r to the 4th, just one more. Then we get 3 times 2 times 2 times 2. So we ended up having a sub 1 times r to the 3rd. Now, you do not have to do all of these steps if you do not want to. If you already feel comfortable with just skipping to this step right here, you're more than welcome to. I'm just showing everybody how I got to that answer. Now, at this point, we can generalize the formula. This was very specific. We're just looking for a sub 1, a sub 2, a sub 3, and a sub 4. I'm going to generalize it so I can find any nth term. So here we are. We're going to go on. So we're going to now look for a sub n. Once again, the ones that we're going to focus on is the what term it is and then what happens or what's changing on the right hand side. Now let's look at it. Everything stays the same on this side right here. All of this stays the same except for the power of r. So that's what we're going to focus on with what's changing on the left hand side, which is 1 with the term number. So now by using that observation, so we know that a sub 1 stays and multiplied, that's multiplying, times r to the r stays, but the power changes. What's the pattern on powers? If the n is 2, the power is 1. If n is 3, the power is 2. If n is 4, the power is 3. So it's always 1 less. So our power on this case, let me see if I can write it. Oh, that was bad. Our power on this case would be r to the n minus 1. And let me see if I can write that right. N minus 1. All in parentheses. Okay. So let me go ahead and tell you that this is another formula that we need to remember. But be careful, because one for the arithmetic looks very similar to one for the geometry. I'm going to show you how you can play with this and plug in some numbers in a different sequence. I only use this sequence to drop the formula, but this general formula works for every single geometric sequence. So let me give you another example. One easy one would be, how about this? Our sequence is 20, 10, 5, 2.5. That's 2.5. So it's going to go on and on and on and on. And I'm looking to find 10th term of this geometric sequence. Now the one thing that I'm going to define already is that what our common ratio would be. This time our common ratio is 1/2, because we're always dividing by 2. Remember, if you're dividing, it's the same thing as multiplying it by the reciprocal. So let's start this. Our formula was a sub n is equal to a sub 1 times r to the n minus 1. So when we work on this, our a sub 10, guys, a sub 10 only means it's a 10th term. Our 10th term will be equal to our first term times, what's our r is? 1/2. This whole thing to the n minus 1, which is 9. Ooh, this is going to be a big number. Now I'm going to go ahead and distribute. So I already know that I'm just going to leave the 20 alone. In this case, I know it's going to be, the numerator would be 1, the denominator would have 2 to the 9. So once you put this in your calculator, you're going to end up, that would be your 10th term. I hope this one helped, and we did have homework. It was just something super easy and breezy and beautiful. So go ahead and work on those, and let me know if you have any other questions. Alright, see y'all tomorrow.